I'm off for another walk, but this time I'm just going to take this. No microphone, nothing else, just this. Let's see how it does. Ever since I got this camera, and I got this half price actually, it's delivered consistently good results. But I never really used it just for simple vlogging or walking around. I've always used it with microphones attached, etc., on a tripod. And actually I used it to produce a series, a music series, a 12-part series, where I was singing, the wife was singing, and that was during the lockdown. I've got a choice. I can either just take the camera as it is and hold it like that, if I want to. Trouble is if I want to point it at me, that's a little bit difficult when you're holding it like that, but I'm going to need some kind of thing to hold it, aren't I? So I've got a choice. I can either use this one, which is a little cheapo. I could use just a normal stick one, I suppose, an upright. But this one's quite handy in that it doubles up as, not only does it get the thing at an angle like that, but it also doubles up as a little mini tripod. So that could be quite handy when I'm out and about, when you think about it, holding it on there. Or if I want to, I can take this one, and this one is a similar thing, but this one is actually made for the Sony's cameras. This, by the way, works with the ZV-1 as well. It has a physical contact to the camera, and on the back is a little set of remote control things: record, zoom. What's the other one? Oh, it's for photo. I never use it. So it's for recording video and for zooming, and that's quite handy as well. It's a similar thing to the other one, except it's got a remote control on it which goes into the camera. And as I said, it will go into the ZV-1, which is handy. And this also turns into a little mini tripod, which is quite nice. Except if you have to put it on the floor, it's quite low. That's the only thing. But if I find a fence or something to sit it on, that's okay. So I think I'm going to take this one and see how the thing performs. So let's go. So here I am again on my little walk, and this time I'm using the Sony AX53 and the internal mic. The only other thing I'm using is the Sony pistol grip, which lets me record things automatically just by pressing the button, which is rather nice. They're rather nice, but they're probably a weed. Right down the back there, that's the North Downs, so that's quite a long way, and then down the other end is the South Downs and Brighton. It's supposed to be where all the pilgrims went, you know, with the Pilgrim's Way and all that business. Actually, we've got a pub here that they stopped by on, apparently, and they had a good drink, because there's inside the pub there's actually a well, a water well. It is actually under the floor, which is quite funny. And apparently the monks stopped and had a booze up, had a drink of water. Blimey, I remember that tree, and it's gone. Now the thing is, the Sony has stabilisation in lens, as well as I think digital as well, so basically this should be reasonably stable. Probably not up to GoPro standards, but walking along with it is actually quite feasible. But really, for any vlogging, what you need is a camera that's got a fairly good angle of view, and hopefully this is not too far away. A microphone that's reasonable if you don't want to use a microphone, and not only that, that has stability, you know, it has something that doesn't move around too much when you're moving. And you know, with the weight of this camera, that's a little bit difficult. And also, to be honest, this is quite a big camera to carry around, but on the little grip it's okay actually. One thing about the Sony grip is it is actually quite small. It's not got a long handle. That's a woodpecker whiffling away. It's quite a small handle. It's very easy to press the wrong button, because the photograph button is very close to the video button, but apart from that, it's okay. I would prefer it to be a little bit longer though, to be honest. It's just a fraction short, I think. Certainly for general views, this camera is absolutely fine. I'm doing a quick pan here just to see how wobbly the pan looks while I'm talking as well, and going across from right to left, so hopefully it's not too jittery. Now that's handy, there's a car coming past, so if you can still hear me, the car hopefully isn't going to drown me out, and you still got me, so that's quite a handy test. So I'm just going to do a quick stability test anyway. This is me trying to hold that grip fairly still. It's at arm's length. It's quite heavy, not too bad actually. Now I'm gonna, there's that woodpecker again. I'm just going to now move it a little bit. So now I'm just jigging very slightly to see if the stabilisation does anything, and now I'm going to give it some. And this time I'm really jittering it around a lot, and if you're holding a camera like that, then you must be a nervous wreck. So let's see what that looks like in post. So at the moment what I've done is I've set the camera to about 100th of a second, and the camera just uses its own auto settings apart from that, because as any Sony camcorder user knows, the camcorders actually only give you semi-automatic. So I've set the shutter to 100th. So that means that the aperture will be going up and down with the lighting. Certainly for static shots, this thing's absolutely amazing. But for portable use, you really want something that's going to cope with the movement of walking and just sort of kind of chucking the camera around. Hopefully, this camera might be up to it and offers a little bit better quality than a GoPro, hopefully. Let's see. One day, in 100 years or so, that's going to be an oak tree.